Is it healthier to wake up at night to pee or not? A urologist finally tells the truth. After turning 78, Mr. Walter Thompson, a retired school principal living in a quiet suburb of Portland, Oregon, began to wonder whether his body was truly aging gracefully or if something was going seriously wrong. Night after night, without fail, he was waking up 3 times to urinate. Once around midnight, again at about 2 a.m., and often right before dawn. And each time, it wasn't just a quick trip to the bathroom and back to peaceful slumber. No, it was always the same frustrating experience. Just as he was sinking into deep sleep, his bladder would jolt him awake with a bloated, uncomfortable pressure. Groggy and stiff, he would shuffle down the hallway, using the wall for support. After finishing in the bathroom, he'd return to bed, but the night was already ruined. Sleep? Gone. His mind too restless, his body too tired. By morning, the mirror was a cruel reminder. Bloodshot eyes, deep under-eye circles, and a general sense of being drained, lethargic, and disconnected. He often caught himself muttering under his breath, "This can't be normal. Maybe I'm really starting to fall apart." What bothered him even more was the contrast with his neighbor and old fishing buddy, Mr. Leonard Harris, who was already 80. Despite being 2 years older, Leonard always seemed full of energy. Every morning he looked like he'd just returned from a spa retreat, rosy-cheeked, bright-eyed, refreshed. According to Leonard, he never had to get up at night. Not once. He just slept straight through, every single night. Walter couldn't help but compare. Why him? He's older than me, but I'm the one up all night. What's going on? One sunny morning, the two of them ran into each other at the community garden. After some small talk, Walter, half joking, half defeated, said, "Leonard, I swear, every night I'm up at least 3 times going to the bathroom. You still sleeping like a log, huh?" Leonard chuckled with that signature carefree grin of his and said, "Sure am. Like a baby. Haven't had to get up in years. My bladder's as quiet as a church mouse." Walter forced a smile, but inside, his worry grew deeper. That offhand remark left him even more unsettled. He couldn't shake the feeling. Does waking up to pee mean I'm less healthy? Does Leonard's uninterrupted sleep mean he's doing better than me? Am I sick? The doctor weighs in. No nighttime urination doesn't always mean good health. Burdened by doubt, Walter finally decided to stop wondering and start asking. He scheduled an appointment with a urologist at the local hospital. He was seen by Dr. Linda McPherson, a warm, thoughtful woman in her early 50s, with decades of experience and a gentle voice that immediately put him at ease. After listening attentively to his story, she nodded and smiled. "Mr. Thompson, you're not alone in this. Not by a long shot. I see folks your age, especially men, come in with the exact same concerns nearly every day." Walter blinked, surprised. She went on, "There's a common misconception, especially among older adults, that if you wake up during the night to urinate, something's wrong. That it's automatically a sign of disease, of poor health, or that your body is wearing down unnaturally. But the truth is not necessarily." She reached over to grab a laminated anatomical chart showing the kidneys, ureters, bladder, and urethra. "You see," she said, pointing at the bladder, "as we age, the bladder's capacity slowly shrinks. It simply doesn't stretch the way it used to. The walls lose elasticity. On top of that, your body becomes more sensitive to even small amounts of urine. So where you used to hold through the night just fine, now even a couple ounces can trigger the urge to go. But that's not all," she added, now pointing to the kidneys. "We also produce less antidiuretic hormone at night as we age. That hormone tells your kidneys to slow down urine production during sleep. Young people produce plenty of it, so they don't need to pee during the night. But for seniors, the balance is off. The kidneys keep working. The result? Nighttime urination becomes more common." Walter was starting to nod, following her logic, but still concerned. "Okay, that makes sense. But what about my friend Leonard? He's older, and he sleeps through the whole night. Doesn't that mean he's healthier than me?" Dr. McPherson smiled knowingly and said, "I'm glad you asked that, because you might be surprised by the answer. Why no nighttime urination might not be such a good thing. Just because someone doesn't wake up at night to urinate, she explained, doesn't automatically mean their body is functioning better. In fact, in some cases, it could signal that something is wrong. That certainly got Walter's attention. Let's break it down, she said, leaning forward. We classify nighttime urination into two broad categories, physiological and pathological. 1. Physiological, normal, nighttime urination can be due to age-related decrease in bladder capacity, reduction in antidiuretic hormone production, drinking too much fluid, especially tea, coffee, broth, or milk, within 2 hours of bedtime, anxiety or stress, which activates the nervous system and increases urine production. These cases usually don't involve pain, urgency, or other concerning symptoms, she said. And as long as it doesn't severely impact your quality of life, it's usually nothing to worry about. 2. Pathological abnormal causes of nighttime urination might include benign prostatic hyperplasia BPH, common in older men. When the prostate enlarges, it compresses the urethra, making it harder to empty the bladder completely. That leftover urine causes you to need to pee more often, especially at night. Overactive bladder syndrome, more common in women. The bladder becomes overly sensitive and reacts even when it's not full. Diabetes. High blood sugar levels lead the kidneys to filter out more sugar, and with it, more water. This causes frequent urination both day and night. Congestive heart failure. During the day, fluid builds up in the lower body. When you lie down, that fluid returns to the bloodstream and increases kidney filtration, leading to more urine at night. Sleep apnea. Interrupted breathing at night throws off hormone regulation and may also lead to nocturia. Side effects of medication, such as diuretics, certain blood pressure meds, and anti-anxiety drugs taken at night. Dr. McPherson leaned back and said thoughtfully, "So you see, it's not the number of bathroom trips that matters most. It's whether those trips come with other warning signs." Like what? Walter asked. Well, she replied, if you're experiencing pain during urination, a weak urine stream, blood in the urine, or daytime frequency, or if you notice swelling in your ankles, fatigue, or shortness of breath, that's when we dig deeper. 2 friends, 2 checkups, and a twist ending. Following her advice, Walter underwent a thorough urological evaluation. The tests included a prostate exam, bladder ultrasound, urinalysis, and kidney function tests. The results? Dr. McPherson smiled as she explained them. Mr. Thompson, what you've got is a mild case of prostate enlargement, nothing alarming. You're also showing some minor bladder underactivity. Both are extremely common at your age and not considered dangerous. No sign of malignancy. We'll manage it with lifestyle adjustments. Walter nearly sighed with relief. It felt like a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. Over the next few months, he followed her guidance. Avoided fluids after 6 p.m., especially caffeine and alcohol. Emptied his bladder completely before bed. Elevated his legs for 30 minutes each afternoon to reduce fluid retention. Started a morning routine of light Tai Chi in the park to improve pelvic floor coordination. By the end of 3 months, he was waking only once, sometimes not at all during the night. His energy during the day improved. He looked healthier, walked with a spring in his step, and even the neighbors noticed. Walter, you look 10 years younger. But meanwhile, his old friend Leonard, who was so proud of his full night's sleep, wasn't feeling quite so lucky. At his annual physical, Leonard mentioned offhandedly, Doc, I never feel thirsty anymore. And I don't really pee much either, not even at night. That raised a red flag. Further testing revealed elevated serum creatinine and urea levels, suggesting early-stage chronic kidney disease. It turned out that not producing urine at night was not a sign of superior health. It was a sign that his kidneys weren't filtering properly anymore. His doctor explained, at your age, not peeing at night could mean your kidneys have slowed down too much. Either that or your bladder is too good at storing, but that's not always a good thing either. Leonard was shocked. He had mistaken his uninterrupted sleep for peak health. Now he had to follow a stricter regimen. Drink more water during the day, reduce red meat, monitor kidney levels, and ease off high-protein meals. Later, he laughed and told Walter over coffee, "Well, buddy, I guess I've joined the Midnight Pea Club after all. Doc says it might actually be a sign my kidneys are doing a little better now." Crazy world, huh? Walter roared with laughter. "Welcome to the team, Leonard. The bottom line. So, what's healthier, waking up to pee or not? It depends. Nighttime urination isn't automatically a sign of trouble, and sleeping through the night without a bathroom visit doesn't guarantee everything's fine either. As with so many things in health, the context, the cause, and the overall picture matter far more than just one symptom. If you're concerned, don't guess. Don't compare. Go see a doctor who'll listen and explain what your body is actually trying to tell you. And hey, if you're up once or twice a night but feel fine otherwise, you might be doing just fine, even if your neighbor insists he's still got the bladder of a 25-year-old. 5 doctors teach you how to tell if your nighttime urination is normal or a red flag. Mr. Williams, a retired school teacher from Michigan, sat across from his longtime physician, Dr. Laura Thompson, with a curious expression on his face. He leaned forward slightly, nodded politely, and asked, "So, Dr. Thompson, how do I know if my nighttime trips to the bathroom are just a normal part of getting older, or if there's something I should be worried about?" Dr. Thompson chuckled softly, the kind of warm, reassuring laugh only an experienced physician could offer. "Actually, that's a great question, Mr. Williams. I get asked that quite a bit, especially by folks who are aging gracefully, like yourself." She paused, then continued, "There's a simple framework that many of us in the medical field use. It's practical, not hard to remember, and it helps distinguish normal nighttime urination from something more serious. All you need to remember are these 4 key points. Let's break them down one by one. Point number 1, frequency matters. First off," she said, "we look at how often you're getting up during the night. In general, for adults over the age of 65, getting up once, maybe twice, throughout the night to urinate is considered within the range of normal. That's especially true if you've had a bit more water in the evening, or a comforting cup of tea after dinner." But she warned, if you're suddenly getting up 3 times a night, or 4 times, or, heaven forbid, every single hour, then that's your body waving a little red flag. That kind of abrupt change isn't just aging. It might be your body trying to get your attention. Point number 2. Is it affecting your sleep and energy? Now, let's say you're up twice a night, Dr. Thompson continued. That might not be so bad if you're able to go right back to sleep. But if those trips to the bathroom are stealing your deep sleep, leaving you tossing and turning and making you feel like a zombie during the day, that's when we start to worry. Fatigue, irritability, trouble focusing, and even mild depression can set in when your deep REM sleep is repeatedly interrupted. The bladder may wake you up, she added, but it's your quality of life that ends up paying the price. Point number 3. Any sudden changes? We also watch for changes, she said, making eye contact with Mr. Williams. Not just how much you urinate, but when and how the pattern shifts. Let's say you've always gotten up once, maybe twice, like clockwork. Then suddenly, you either don't urinate at all during the night, or it triples overnight. Either extreme can be a warning sign. Suddenly producing less urine could mean your kidneys are slowing down. They might not be filtering your blood properly anymore. On the flip side, producing too much might be tied to out-of-control blood sugar, congestive heart issues, or even recent changes in medications. So whether it's a flood or a drought, any rapid shift in your pattern should get your attention. Point number 4. Are there any other symptoms? This one, Dr. Thompson explained, is non-negotiable. If your nighttime urination comes with other symptoms, it's time to stop guessing and call your doctor. Look out for any of the following, she said, holding up 4 fingers. Burning or pain when you pee. A weak, dribbling, or split urine stream. Blood in the urine, or urine that's foamy or has an unusual odor. A sense of pressure or fullness in the lower abdomen, even after urinating. If you feel like you're not emptying your bladder all the way, or if you're constantly rushing to the bathroom during the day too, she said, then you may be dealing with something far more complex, like an infection, prostate enlargement, bladder dysfunction, or even early signs of kidney trouble. Mr. Williams quietly typed those 4 golden rules into the Notes app on his iPhone, nodding thoughtfully. Then he smiled and said, "From now on, I'll monitor myself using those 4 rules. Sounds more accurate than the weather forecast." 6 lifestyle tweaks to ease nighttime urination. After covering the 4-point guide, Mr. Williams sighed in relief. So, it's not always a disease, but it's also not something I should ignore either. That's comforting to know. But tell me, doctor, are there any things I can do on my own, other than popping pills, to make things better? Dr. Thompson nodded enthusiastically. Oh, absolutely. You'd be surprised how much of a difference small changes can make. In fact, sometimes lifestyle adjustments work better than medication, especially when made consistently over time. She grabbed a sticky note from her desk and wrote down 5 simple yet powerful recommendations. 1. Hydrate smartly. Drink more during the day, less at night. One common mistake people make, she said, is thinking they should drink less water in general to avoid nighttime urination. But dehydration can do more harm than good. The trick? Spread your fluid intake throughout the day and begin tapering off in the evening, especially after 6 p.m. Avoid water-heavy meals and beverages late in the day, such as soups, smoothies, or herbal teas. And keep bedtime sipping to a minimum. Half a cup is plenty. 2. Always empty your bladder before bed. Even if you don't feel like you have to go, make it a habit to visit the bathroom right before bed. This one simple ritual can reduce your chances of waking up from a full bladder in the middle of the night. The goal is to hit the pillow with a clean slate. 3. Avoid diuretic triggers at night. Coffee, tea, cola, and alcohol may be part of your evening routine, but they can be big troublemakers. These are diuretics, Dr. Thompson explained, which means they encourage your body to flush out fluids. Some, like caffeine, also stimulate your nervous system, making sleep harder to come by. And alcohol? It might help you fall asleep, but it tends to fragment your sleep later in the night. Better options? Try a small cup of warm oat milk, unsweetened almond milk, or low-sugar soy milk. These can help relax the body without flooding your bladder. 4. Stay active. Elevate your legs. If you're dealing with swelling in your feet or ankles during the day, chances are your body is storing extra fluids. When you lie down at night, those fluids shift upward, making their way to the bladder. The fix? Stay active during the day. Take regular walks, do light stretching, or join a yoga class. And around 4 to 6 p.m., prop your legs up for about 20 to 30 minutes. This helps reduce nighttime water redistribution that leads to frequent urination. 5. Distress and stick to a sleep schedule. Stress and poor sleep hygiene are major contributors to nighttime urination. If your brain is on high alert, your bladder may follow. Try going to bed at the same time each night. Avoid screens an hour before sleeping and practice calming techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or reading. The goal is to quiet the mind, and the bladder usually follows suit. Dr. Thompson leaned back and smiled. Give these a good 2 to 3 weeks. Most people find their nighttime urination becomes a lot less frequent, and their sleep improves dramatically. Mr. Williams gave her a grateful smile. "This I can do," he said. "At least I won't need to jump straight into medications and deal with all the side effects. Thank you for explaining it all so clearly." Final thoughts. Aging well means listening to the body. As Mr. Williams left the clinic and walked down the sidewalk, he felt lighter, not just physically, but mentally. A few days ago, hearing that he had Nocturia made him panic. He was losing sleep, mentally comparing himself to his neighbor, Mr. Garcia, who bragged about sleeping like a baby. But now he had something better than envy, understanding. That evening, he finished dinner early, stopped drinking fluids after 6 p.m., and made sure to empty his bladder before heading to bed. He only woke up once that night and went right back to sleep. The next morning, he felt sharper, more alert. Even his morning walk felt easier, like his limbs were more coordinated. Later that week, during a Tai Chi class at the community center, he ran into his old friend, Mr. Garcia. They chatted a bit, and Mr. Williams said with a grin, "You know, I've been sleeping better lately. only up once at night now. Mr. Garcia laughed. Funny you say that. I recently found out I was drinking too little water during the day. My doctor told me it was stressing my kidneys. Now that I drink more during the day and less at night, I feel more energized. They both paused and nodded. It's not about whether we pee at night or not, Mr. Williams said. It's about learning to pay attention to what our body's telling us and doing something about it. Nearby, a few women from their yoga class chimed in with smiles. Exactly. Getting older doesn't mean ignoring our bodies. It means being in partnership with them. Closing message. Healthy aging doesn't mean never having symptoms. It means learning to read the signals your body sends and responding with care, curiosity, and consistency. Nighttime urination isn't always a problem. Sometimes, it's just your body doing its job. Other times, it's a gentle nudge to pay closer attention. Whatever the case, don't ignore it. Don't fear it. And certainly don't be embarrassed by it. Because truly, the secret to aging well lies not in denial, but in understanding, adjusting, and embracing change. If this message resonated with you, consider subscribing so we can walk this journey together toward better health, stronger minds, and peaceful, joyful aging. Until next time, take care, be kind to your body, and never stop learning.